Script with Debbie, and today our episode is, Where Are My Friends? Pastors' wives need friends too. Thank you for being my friend and being in the audience today. I know I'm paying you big bucks, so I appreciate it. I want you to know that that's probably the number one struggle for ministry wives, is they feel lonely. And a lot of that is because they have not developed friendship. And we just thought this was an important topic to cover today about friends and to encourage you in the area of friendship. And so I thought I'd do something fun. I have a pastor's wife. I told her that I was going to call her. She's a friend. And I said, I'm going to call you. Is that okay? And she goes, what for? And I said, just to call and talk to you. I've got some friends. And can I call and ask you some questions? And she goes, okay. How many friends, do you have friends that would let you do that? Okay, I have very few. In fact, she might be the only one. I thought it'd be fun just to call her and kind of get her idea on friendship without her really knowing. You know, this could really be a bomb, but let's try it. Okay. Her name is Angie. Oh, maybe speakerphone would help.
Hello.
Hi, is this Angie?
This is Angie.
Hi, Angie. This is Debbie Cole with a bunch of my friends. We just wanted to call and talk to you because we knew you were lonely today and you needed a friend. So we're talking about where are my friends. We're talking as ministry wives about friendship today. Here's the number one question. Do you have friends in the church?
I do have friends in the church.
Oh, no, honey, don't do that. No, I'm kidding. No, that's good. I'm glad you said that.
We have served at two churches, and moving from our previous church to the church that we're at now 4 years ago, we moved to the middle of nowhere in Forks, Washington.
She lives in Forks. If anyone knows what that means, that's where the vampires live, okay? So you would encourage women to have friends in the church?
I would.
Awesome.
I have friends in my church that are in the same stage of life. I have 3 young kids, so we would meet in the nursery rocking our babies, and you develop a lot of friendships.
You do.
You go into service and you have a crying baby.
Yeah.
And then we
The
also
best
have
friends are those that
consider-
you've nursed with. Sure, really. Sorry. But we want to thank you. Enjoy your friendships.
Thank you.
Thank you,
for letting
Angie.
me be a part of today. I wish I could have been there, but this made it so I was there by phone.
You are here by phone, and we appreciate you, Angie.
Thank you. You guys have a great day.
Okay, thanks, Angie. Bye-bye. Whoa. So Angie has friends in the church. You know, when we were discussing this, where are my friends, that was one area we felt like we wanted to talk about. Because when I was growing up, my mother was a pastor's wife, and she was always told, never have friends in the church, right? Because they will hurt you. They will stab you and leave you bleeding. That's, they may not have said that. I read too many thriller novels, but that's what I thought of. And, but when I got to be a pastor's wife, and I was like going, you know what? I can't have friends in my church. What I found for me is I was hurting not having friends. I was given this book by my husband's grandmother, the pastor's wife. It was written in 1959. A good year because someone I love dearly was born that year. Oh, me, that's right. Okay. If you don't love yourself, you can't love others. But they asked in this book about, friendship. And they asked, should a pastor's wife have friends in the church? So this is what this lady said. Well, I am a special friend of my minister's wife, but I do not recommend it. If I repeated some of the things she has told me, people would ride her out of town on the rail. Now, what's a rail? Like railroad? I told you how old this book is. So they would ride her out of town on the rail. But we come near to having a perfect relationship. She is a fine combination of saint and sinner. So we're going to talk to our guest today and see if our pastor's wife is a great combination of saint and sinner. So let's break now, and we're going to go over and meet some guests. Well, I want to introduce you to 2 very special people and friends. This is Rachel Hopkins. She is a pastor's wife and a friend of mine. And she brought along with her her friend Tiffany. And Tiffany goes to her church, and she's a friend. But I thought they would be a great guest to speak to you about having friends in the church, because they are doing it, and they're doing it successfully. If you want to see more about them, just be on either one of their Facebook pages, and they are having a great life together. So I just thought it would be fun for them to share about having a friendship within the church. So Rachel, tell me, how did you and Tiffany meet?
We met at church. Met at church, and we moved there, and her family, mom, sister, all of those great people in her family were one of the first people that would welcome us and made us dinner, and we were over at their house quite a bit, and we just began a friendship.
Mm-hmm. So I want to ask you, Tiffany, have you ever had a pastor's wife as a friend before?
No, I have not.
So this is like your first adventure?
That's a good word. Yeah.
So how's it been for you being the friend of a pastor's wife?
Well, never having one before. I didn't know, I didn't have expectations or kind of know going into it, but it's been great. It's
She's
wonderful.
along for the ride.
Yeah. We'll let her know you're having a great time, okay? So I want to ask you, did either one of you have any hesitations about your friendship? Was it something that, did you think at all, Rachel? I mean, your mother was a pastor's wife too, so I don't know if you'd heard what I'd heard, but were you nervous at all about
I heard the same thing, that it was not wise to have a friend in the church. And so as our friendship progressed and just spending more time with her, I did not necessarily hesitations about Tiffany, but hesitations about if it was okay to have such a close friend in the church. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And as the friendship developed, how did you kind of overcome those feelings?
I actually met with another pastor's wife who's kind of a mentor to me, and she said these words. She said, "You have permission to have a friend in the church." Mm-hmm. And that may seem silly. I was telling Tiffany that, and she's like, "Permission?" And I said, no, that meant the world to me. I needed to hear those words, that I had permission, that not only was it okay for me to have a friend, but it was a necessity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's important to have that friend. Yeah. If you didn't have Tiffany right now in your life, what would it be like for you as far as?
Very lonely. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very lonely, and probably go crazy. And my husband told me once, you need someone to talk to. You can't tell me everything.
Yeah, my husband said the same thing. Just so you know, women, if you don't know that, this is a little word of advice. Your husband isn't a woman. You need a woman to talk to about some things, because he really. If I talk to someone about some of the things I'm going through as a woman, and she's right there with me crying, as where my husband's like, okay, can we go eat dinner now? It's just a difference. Yeah, you need women in your life.
Absolutely.
You do. Mm-hmm. So I want to ask, what have you done, or have you done anything in your friendship to make sure it hasn't created any jealousy within the church, or has that been a problem for you guys at all? Oh, look at them, look at each other. Okay, let's open up this
stories.
Well, in the beginning, we weren't, I guess, kind of sure how to handle being good friends and trying to make sure there wasn't jealousy. So we kind of kept it on the down low, I guess.
So we have secret names for each other.
Oh, they have secret names. Let's
do.
hear them. Do you want to hear their names? Come on. Oh, they want to hear the names.
I'm Rabbit.
I'm Deer.
Rabbit and Deer. Okay.
So we refer to each other as that.
But then people wouldn't know that if we were posting things.
Yeah. So this was on Facebook when you'd post about Rabbit or Deer. Yeah. You were posting about each other, but no one in your church would know.
Now they know.
Now they do. But before they didn't.
Yeah, that seems like a little bit like lying. That's okay. That's okay. You were developing your friendship.
Yeah. So that was all new territory.
Yeah. You guys were kind of walking this journey.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what you did. You kind of kept it incognito, but
we did not flaunt it.
Yeah, you did not flaunt it.
We didn't flaunt it.
Yeah, so now though, because I see you on Facebook and you guys are very much open about your friendship, how did that evolve, and have you had any struggles with people in the church?
We have. Yeah. I don't know if Tiffany necessarily has had, we were talking about it, but I've definitely had more of that. And I just had to keep reminding myself that I had permission and that ladies in my church have good friends, and I am no different, that I am just a woman, and even though my husband is a pastor, I need a friend too. So it kind of just progressed from there, and slowly, instead of our nicknames, is Tiffany or Rachel.
Rabbit
And
became
yes,
Rachel,
Rachel.
and deer became Tiffany.
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
But we did have some jealousy. We did have some of that we had to deal with, and very painful. And so I'm more aware of that for sure. I do try to make sure that I still have coffee with other ladies and my normal things, because they're my friends too. But not everyone knows everything in my life. Not everyone knows the struggles or things like that. And I just had to continue to remind myself that I have permission to have a normal life.
Right, and to have a friend.
Yeah.
Do you share with Tiffany about struggles and things that you're going through? So you have an open relationship there.
Yeah.
And it's been good for you.
It has been. Yeah, I asked her if she's ever gotten upset with someone because of the way that they've treated me or something, and she's great, because she doesn't. Where if somebody was probably to treat her in a way, I'd be like, where is that person?
Yeah, I will hurt them.
Yes.
I get upset, but I
But
let them
she's
know.
great at that. She keeps it to herself and doesn't take it out on anyone.
Well, and I love what you say, that you don't flaunt it. I think that's important, because even on Facebook, you guys are having fun together, but it's not like in your face to everyone else. But it's just that you guys are showing friendship. I remember years ago I had an older lady in my church, because I had made some friends in my church and I was a little nervous about it. And she said that same thing to me. She said, well, you need friends. And it's like, okay, it's okay, I can have friends. And it's such an important part. What would you say, Tiffany, your friendship with Rachel has brought to you?
Well, it's definitely bettered my life. I haven't had a friend like her. Someone just to share in everything, the good, the bad, the hard, the everything. My one person that I can tell anything to, and I can be myself, she can be herself. We do church together, and so we have that. Our families do life together. So really just share in everything.
Do you feel you're healthier for a
Oh, yeah.
friend?
Oh, and she's helped me in my walk with the Lord a ton, and I've learned a lot from her, and just her and Kyle as being my pastors and best friend. All of that together, every aspect of my life, I think is better.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I know, that kind of made me teary-eyed. But that's the truth.
Yeah.
And I think about where you would be without her as a friend. If she had closed herself off and said, well, I can't have friends in the church,
Right.
where would you be? So she is a gift to you.
Oh, yes.
So I want to
very
ask
much.
Rachel, what has Tiffany been to for you?
The same. She's a gift to me. Like I said earlier, and in joking, I'd be crazy, but I probably would. I probably, we might not be at our church if I didn't have someone that I could share life with. And yeah, she's brought joy, and she laughs at everything. So if you're having a hard time, she will.
Okay,
make it
we
better.
all want a Tiffany in our life. Okay,
Yeah.
can you share her? I need
No.
someone that will laugh.
If I'm having a hard day, we have lots of conversations through texting, funny Bitmojis and things like that. She'll send me some random knock-knock joke, and I'm like, I'm crying. What are you doing? But it changes everything, and I'd be lost. I'd be lost without her.
Without her.
Yeah.
So what would you say, Rachel, to our audience and the people online about having a friend in the church? Would you say it's worth the hurt, what
it's
they say
worth
might
it.
happen?
It's worth it for sure. And I would say, as someone told me, you have permission. You have permission to have a close friend, and not just that, but you need it. You need it for yourself to be healthy. You need it. And so they're there. And someone once said that allowing people to bless you is blessing them. So God has those people in the church for you, and maybe they need a friend, and maybe they want desperately for you to be that friend, and they want to be that friend to you. And just open yourself up, and don't be closed off to what God has planned for you, and what a great adventure you can have.
Well, I just want you to know, when I watch you guys on Facebook, it is a gift, the friendship that and I can tell that God put you together just in the way that God has blessed you, and just the way that you enjoy each other and your families enjoy one another. And I think many times if pastors' wives had some friends, maybe it wouldn't be so quick to leave.
Yeah.
You said we probably still wouldn't be there
Yeah.
if you didn't have Tiffany there as a friendship.
Yeah.
So I just think friendship is so important. And I think for us to know it is okay. It's okay, guys, to have friends in the church. And she mentioned she went through some painful times
Yeah.
with people in the church that maybe were jealous, but was it worth it, the pain, to have the friendship you have?
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, in those that were jealous or we've gone through struggles, they're not here anymore. They're not there anymore.
They're at your church. Sorry. No, sorry. Just kidding.
But
You can
know,
share their names
she's
later.
still here.
Yeah.
She's still here.
Yeah.
And through good and bad, she's still here. And we're still at our church. So yay.
And I can tell both of you are healthier for this friendship. And God made us for friends. He really did. I'm not sure why we have this thought as a pastor's wife that we can't have friends when God made us for friendship.
Yeah.
First with Him and then with others. And so I just think that you guys are modeling to the church something beautiful. Friendship. And if we can look at it like that, not about, oh, I can't have friends, but how can I model friendship to those in the church and be able to walk through the pain knowing it's worth it.
Yeah.
So I appreciate both of you for being here. You guys are delightful, and I know everyone will want to be following you on Facebook to see what you're doing. But thank you for being here. Let's see, deer and
Rabbit.
And if we ever see that on Facebook, we'll know who they're talking about, won't we? But we want to thank you. And I'm just glad you were able to come out of the closet and be who you are. And people now know it's really Rachel and Tiffany. So let's give them a hand and thank them for being here. So, ladies, we learned about friendship today. And a lot of that friendship that Rachel and Tiffany talked about is they were intentional. They made friends. So we're going to be intentional about friendship. I have a wonderful mug here from Starbucks with a $25 gift card in it. And that is for you. So pull out your phones. The first one that can call a friend, not text. We are not texting because we are making you do it the old-fashioned way. Call a friend, and it can't be a relative. It can't be someone sitting in the room with you, but call a friend and invite them to coffee and get an affirmative from them that they are going to have coffee with you. On your mark, set, go. First one to get someone. Oh, they're calling, man. We got those speakerphones going. Come on, if you get the first one to get one, you're going to get coffee. Oh, I hear some. Okay, I think Leah, do you have an affirmative? Oh, you have an affirmative? Becca, is she still on the phone? Okay, do you still have, Leah, do you still have her on the phone? Do you still have her on the phone? First one, I need to be talking to that friend. Oh, come on up. Okay, someone else has her on the phone. Okay. Hello, what's your name?
Hello, Jessie.
Hi, Jessie. What are you doing right now?
Untangling kite string.
Oh, untangling kite string. That sounds like fun. Wow. So, are you going to go have friends? Are you going to have friends? Do you have friends? No, are you going to go have coffee with your friend?
I would love to.
Okay, I am now giving her a mug and a $25 gift card to take you out to coffee.
Sounds great.
Great. Well, thanks for being a friend. Here you go. Woo-hoo! Leah got into a full conversation with her friend before she could even ask her out for coffee. But you know what made me happy is so many of you here had someone answer right away. I didn't do it because I don't have anyone I don't think that would answer. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm just thinking, would anyone answer? And my daughters won't. They only answer to text. You know how that goes. So I have a great quote from Helen Keller that I love. It says, "My friends have made the story of my life. In 1,000 ways, they have turned my limitations into beautiful privileges. And they have enabled me to walk as serene and happy in the shadow cast by my deprivation." Can we all say that together? Deprivation. Thank you. And I thought about that for Helen Keller. Where would she have been without her friends? Being a woman that was blind, where would she have been without friendship? And I know that God has brought us together, and He brings us to friends in our lives that encourage us. And I love what she said about that it has given her limitations, has turned them into privileges. And I think that about Rachel and Tiffany. Some of the limitations they had were turned into these wonderful privileges as they had friends. So I want to encourage you to have friends. I had friends in the church growing up, And I had a wonderful single mom that taught me that where grape jelly comes from. I don't know if you knew, but it really comes from grapes. And she thought it was important for me to experience that. So we made grape jelly one day, and it was great. I'm not going to do it again, but it was fun. I have a great friend in church named Shelley, who when I ever left to go to conferences or whatever, that's where my kids went. I knew they were happy there. In fact, they probably would have been happier there being raised, but I made them come home. And this is what I'd hear for a week later. Well, Shelley made us this, or Shelley made that, or Shelley was like the amazing cook. If you leave your kids with someone, leave them with someone not as good as you. Just an FYI. Because I had to come back and it had mom again. It wasn't as fun for them. And my last friend that will forever be a friend in my life was Dina. She was an amazing friend. And recently she sent me a beautiful note about what my friendship meant to her. And I thought, oh, honey, you do not know what your friendship meant to me. She made me laugh. And one thing she helped me do is not be so serious about myself. She'd go, get over it. I'm like, really? About that? Get over it. She'd look at me like, what are you so stressed out about? It's nothing. And she truly was a friend to me that really helped me through some difficult times in raising kids, and just an encourager. And they were all within my church. So I don't know what I would have done without those friends in the church. So I just want to encourage you. It's okay to have friends in the church. The scripture verse, Ecclesiastes 4:9-10, says this: 2 are better than 1, because they have a good return for their work. And if one falls down, her friend can help pick her up. We all need someone that picks us up on those days, helps us laugh when we don't feel like laughing, and encourages us. And I just want you to know, for all of you ladies here, I know you were sad you didn't win something. Since I kind of blew the whole thing, I'm going to give you each a Starbucks. Now, it's not 25. If you get a cheap drink at Starbucks, maybe you might get 2 out of them. Otherwise, you're getting 1. But anyways, enjoy your Starbucks. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Awesome. Woohoo. There you go. She tried to take through. Thanks for joining us. Thank you. So thank you. Thanks for being here. I'm off script for Debbie, and we'll be excited to see you at the next episode. Thank you.